AI innovation is accelerating, and companies everywhere are asking the same question. How do we even get started? For companies with 250 to 1,000 employees, this guide is for you. What follows is a practical playbook, small enough to start this quarter, structured enough to know if it's working. First, let's be clear about why this matters now. The gap between AI-capable companies and everyone else isn't just growing, it's accelerating. 80% of Fortune 500 companies are already using agentic AI in production, according to Microsoft's own data. This isn't experimentation anymore, it's standard practice at the top, and it's showing up on their P&L. Boston Consulting Group found that companies with mature AI capabilities see 1.7 times the revenue growth and 1.6 times higher EBIT margins than their peers. That's a structural advantage, not a marginal edge. And for mid-sized companies, that's the real risk. Every quarter of delay compounds the gap further. Now, the natural response to that pressure is a big transformation project. So they hire a chief AI officer, commission an enterprise data strategy, and launch an 18-month infrastructure program with a $5 million budget. And 18 months later, nothing has shipped. Priorities have shifted. The team has become an internal help desk, and the board is asking, what did we actually get? This is one of the most common failure modes in enterprise AI. The alternative is simpler, and it actually works. You start small, prove the value on one real problem, and let that result make the case for the next investment. So what does start small actually look like in practice? It comes down to a simple shape. 5 people, 4 months, and 1 clear win to point to. 2 of those people are external hires. The other 3 come from inside the company. 1 focused team with a single mission. Ship something real that proves AI can move the business. Let's break down each piece. Here's the team. 5 roles, only 2 new salaries. Start with the anchor hire, your AI ML lead. Everything else flows from this person. They've shipped AI systems in production before, not just built models in notebooks. That experience means they know how to make pragmatic trade-offs, work with limited resources, and avoid wasting months on the wrong problems. Hire them first and let them shape the rest of the team. Once the lead is in place, the next gap to fill is getting models out of the lab. That's the job of a dedicated ML engineer. Deploying scalable ML systems is its own discipline, and without someone owning it, models tend to stay stuck in experimentation. Behind every working ML system is the data feeding it. That's the role of a data engineer. And the good news here, you almost certainly already have this person. Upskill someone who knows your data systems, schemas, and quirks. That institutional knowledge matters far more than starting over with someone new. Technical talent gets a team moving, but direction has to come from somewhere else. And that's the AI product lead. This role is the one most companies underestimate. The AI product lead stays close to users, workflows, and business priorities, and decides which problems are actually worth solving. Think of it this way. The product lead decides what to solve. The ML lead decides how to solve it. Confuse those roles and you'll end up building the wrong thing very well. And finally, the team needs someone who lives the problem every day. A domain expert borrowed from the business unit. They understand the workflows, edge cases, and operational reality better than anyone else. The team should be building with them, not in isolation from them. 5 people, 2 to 3 new salaries depending on whether the AI product lead is hired externally or developed internally. That's enough to build a real AI capability and prove whether it delivers value. Now, when you're hiring for these roles, 3 principles that matter. The single most important filter. Shipped beats studied. This is not the place for potential. You need people who have put models into the hands of real users and dealt with the consequences. That experience changes how they approach problems. Second, solve real problems. The best AI hires are the ones who reach for whatever works, not whatever's new. If a simple regression outperforms a large language model for your use case, they'll tell you that. You want results-driven problem solving, not chasing shiny tools. And third, tied to business KPIs. If your AI team is reporting accuracy metrics that nobody in the boardroom understands, something's broken. Every initiative needs to connect back to revenue, cost, or customer outcomes. And here's what makes this achievable. Most of this team already works for you. You're adding capability to people who already know the business. So here's the timeline. And I want to be upfront about it. Hiring takes time. So the clock starts the day you begin recruiting. Days 1 through 30, hire and assemble. You recruit and hire your AI ML lead, your anchor hire. Budget 10 to 20,000 for recruiting costs. While hiring is in progress, start identifying candidate projects internally. The lead assembles the rest of the team from internal talent and external hires. Days 31 through 90, build and prove. Now the team is in place. They select one high-impact project where data already exists, deliver a meaningful proof of concept within 30 days, then iterate and harden it for production. Days 91 through 120, ship and measure. Deploy to real users, collect real metrics, and present the results to stakeholders. At the end of 120 days, leadership knows two things: whether AI moves the needle for the company and whether the team can deliver. Choosing that first project is critical. Get it wrong and the whole sprint stalls. So how do you pick? 4 filters to run every candidate through. The first one is data. The data has to already exist. If a project requires 6 months of data collection before AI can even start, it's the wrong project for this sprint. Next, the impact needs to be measurable. Revenue, cost reduction, time saved, something you can actually put a number on. If you can't measure it, you can't prove the win. Third, the team can ship something useful in 30 days. If the first milestone takes longer than that, the scope is too big. Cut it in half. And the last one is the one most companies skip. The business has to demand it, not be open to it. Demand it. Pick a problem where people are already frustrated, and they'll champion the result because they need it. If you have to convince them, pick a different problem. With the right project selected, let's talk about the investment. Assuming the AI product lead comes from inside, you're looking at 2 external hires, the AI ML lead and the ML engineer, roughly $400,000 per year combined at market rates. Recruiting and hiring costs about $15,000. Cloud compute and tooling around $60,000. Foundation model APIs roughly $40,000 per year. Start with API access to existing models. Do not train custom models from scratch. That comes later. And training and upskilling for the internal team, about $20,000. Total first-year investment, roughly $535,000. Only 2 new salaries. The rest are people you already have. Adding AI capability to existing organizational knowledge. That's a 120-day proof. With a team you can scale if it works, or redirect if it doesn't. The risk is bounded. Here are 4 principles that separate the companies that succeed with AI from the ones that don't. It starts at the top, with executive sponsorship. Visible C-suite backing is non-negotiable. The moment competing demands arise, and they will, the team gets deprioritized without it. The CEO has to visibly champion this. With sponsorship in place, the next decision shapes everything else. Hire the AI ML lead first. This is your anchor hire. They set the team, the culture, and the technical direction. Get this one right, and the rest of the team comes together behind them. Once the team is hired, there's a temptation to aim big. Resist it. Win small before going big. Start with something that's genuinely winnable. The credibility from that first success is what buys you the mandate for bigger challenges later. And while the team is chasing that first win, protect them. Don't let the AI team become an internal help desk where every department drops random requests. One mission, one project, one metric. Shield them until they deliver. These aren't just principles, they're the pattern that has been proven to work across dozens of organizations. A common question after the first 120 days: where should this team sit in the organization? Start centralized. the team should report directly to the CTO with a dotted line to the CEO. For a mid-sized company starting its AI journey, skip the chief AI officer. What's needed is a direct line to someone with budget authority. After the first win, embed. Place AI engineers inside the product teams that benefit most. But keep the AI lead as a central coordinator, a hub-and-spoke model. Standards flow from the center. Applied work happens at the edges, close to the business. And resist the urge to build a formal center of excellence. At this scale, that becomes bureaucracy, committees and governance documents nobody reads. A lean central team that sets standards is far more effective. The key insight: whoever leads AI must have authority to work across all departments, not siloed within one group. Organizational design follows capability, not the other way around. Prove you can deliver first. The right structure will become obvious. So here's what we'd recommend taking back to the board. Approve the budget for a 5-person founding AI team. The AI ML lead should be hired within 30 days. From there, they build out the rest of the team and select the first project. Then leadership reconvenes in 120 days to evaluate the results. The risk stays bounded, the timeline stays short, and if this team delivers, the company has a foundation for AI capability that compounds for years to come. Thank you for watching.